A brain injury is frequently the most undiagnosed injury received by someone in an accident of some type. Brain injuries can be various in forms. People often think a brain injury is someone that's rendered incapable of speaking, incapable of articulating things, and incapable of functioning. However, there's multiple levels of brain injury, and these different levels of brain injury go undetected to the inexperienced lawyer. Head trauma received in an accident, levels of consciousness and unconsciousness or alterations of consciousness are indicators that a brain injury has occurred. Do you have headaches? Is there ringing in your ears? These are just a few of the symptoms that someone with a brain injury experiences. Brain injuries are a closed head, meaning there's no open wound, or they're an open-headed brain injury, which is an open wound of some type. So don't be fooled by those symptoms. Seek out experienced representation that understands how to document and recognize a brain injury.
We purchased a mower, my brother and I. The very first time I drove that lawnmower, or the second I think it was, for a few times, the seat had broke off and I flipped over. It was a freak accident, but I flipped over backwards, landing on the back of my, top of my neck, lower head area. And I've had, playing football, I've had a couple bells ring before, but nothing like this. This was, I knew it was serious. I mean, it knocked me out for a few hours. So when I came to, there was a lawnmower screaming, and it had proceeded to go into my car. And so there was some safety malfunctions there because it should have stopped right away. But it was just a freak accident that occurred that changed my whole life. I thought I was positioned wrong. I was going over the seat, so I was trying to grab anything I could. And what happened was it wasn't me going over the seat, it was the seat breaking off and sliding off backwards. So at that point, I didn't really know what was going on. I just knew it wasn't good. And I was trying to prevent anything I could from falling off backwards. Upon doing so, I didn't have much time to react, really. You know, I just knew when I woke up, when I come to, the pain was extraordinary, and yeah, I was very disoriented, and this continued to go on for a couple days. I knew I was hurt, but I didn't know to what extent, and I have fear of hospitals. Until my oldest son made me go to the hospital, because again, hospitals are a fear of mine. Is this really happening? My biggest fear was, is this really happening?
Jason Beal's tale is heartbreaking. He was a hardworking, experienced carpenter and laborer that was able to provide and care for his family. It all changed when he decided to cut the grass at a property he was renovating. Those renovations had a far more reaching effect on him than he would ever imagine. Jason woke up after he began cutting the grass several hours later, disoriented, confused, not completely aware of his surroundings, but tired and all of a sudden afraid. At the time, he didn't know what had occurred. Only time would tell specifically what had happened, and the seat had disassembled from the tractor itself. Brain injuries like the one experienced by Jason Beal as he fell to the ground, knocking himself unconscious, destroy lives, and destroy Jason's life. Unable to care for his family, unable to provide for his family, unable to care for himself, and confused, angry, depressed, and unable to address and deal with it all. His story is not like any others, but it's not unlike any others as well. Brain injuries are devastating and confusing. They go undiagnosed, as Jason's did, and they often go untreated, as Jason's did prior to our involvement. Fortunately, we got involved, put Jason on the road to recovery as best he could recover, and took him into our care and made him part of our family and told him that everything was going to be okay. We represent clients across the country. No matter where you are, the doors of our firm are open. We are strategic, meticulous, and merciless.